Hi children, welcome back. Hope you are all doing good and safe at home. Did you read the lesson, the concert once again children? Have you all written the answers for the assignment questions? Alright, check your answers now. Here are some questions. Give one word for the following: a great performer, especially a musician, maestro, moved quickly and suddenly towards a particular place, sprang, a blame or criticism against oneself, self-reproach, to behave in a particular way in order to make other people believe something that is not true, pretend. Next one, a feeling of a very great surprise, astonishment, an act or event that does not follow the laws of nature and is believed to be caused by God, miracle, a person who is especially good at some art or achievement, wizard, enthusiastic clap by the audience who stand up from their seats as a sign of their appreciation, ovation. Okay children, now it is time to listen to some music. You have watched some videos, listened to some stories. Today it is time to listen to some music. While listening to that, you observe what you see on the screen. Yes, you saw some musical instruments, guitar, then drums, piano and a saxophone, isn't it? Do you know what kind of music is this? It is jazz. What is jazz? It is a type of music of Black American origin which emerged at the beginning of 20th century, characterized by improvisation, syncopation and usually a regular or forceful rhythm. The most common musical instruments used to play jazz are saxophone, piano, drums and guitar. Do you know why I am speaking about this jazz? Because you have a poem, Jazz Poem 2, written by Carl Wendell Hines Jr. Let us know about the poet children. Carl Wendell Hines Jr. is an Afro-American poet and a teacher. He was born in Wilson, North Carolina in 1940. His father was a maths teacher and a self-taught musician, and his mother was an elementary school teacher. Hines was also interested in music, especially jazz. Later, he chose to become a teacher. He taught for 35 years. He is well known for his poem, A Dead Man's Dream. Now, let me introduce to you some new words children. Here comes the first one, Ancient Mariner. A reference to the poem, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner by Samuel Coleridge, in which a seaman shoots an albatross, a bird of good omen, and suffers supernatural punishment. Do you want to know about this Ancient Mariner? Yes, here is a story. Once, when the mariner and other sailors were sailing, a powerful wind took them towards south. Their ship got stuck in the ice. Then you know what happened? At that time, the bird albatross came and saved them. Everyone considered that bird as a bird of omen, but after a few days, the mariner shot that bird. Then again, their ship went to a place where there was no sign of life. It was so hot over there. So the sailors blamed the mariner for killing that bird. They tied that bird to his neck. To get rid of his sin, he started spreading the message that we must take care of the God's creation, whether it's small or big. Now, why the poet has taken this ancient mariner as comparison? Here the mariner is spreading this message and the jazz player is spreading the message of beauty of the jazz. ಇವರಿಬ್ಬರ ನಡುವೆ ಒಂದು ಹೋಲಿಕೆ ಇದೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ. ಇವರು ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂದೇಶವನ್ನು ದೇವರ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಗೌರವಿಸಬೇಕು, ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೂ ಹಾನಿ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಮೆಸೇಜನ್ನು ಏನ್ಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಮೆರಿನರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದರೆ, ಜಾಝ್ ಪ್ಲೇಯರು ಒಂದು ಜಾಝ್ ಸಂಗೀತದ ಸೌಂದರ್ಯವನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಆಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ತಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕವಿ ಇವರಿಬ್ಬರನ್ನು ಹೋಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Now let me introduce to you another word, wearies of life. No longer interested in or enthusiastic about anything in life. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಜಿಗುಪ್ಸೆ ಹೊಂದೋದು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Look at this picture. Wearies of life made John very sad. Next word, fray, threads in a piece of cloth starting to come apart. What is its meaning in Kannada? ಚಿಂದಿಯಾದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. Look at this picture. And how can we use this word in a sentence? Gentle wash avoids clothes from fraying. Next word, solitude, the state of being alone. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏಕಾಂಗಿತನ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. How can we use this word? Solitude has always been her friend. Next word, sag, to hang ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಜೋತು ಬೀಳು. How can we use this? Our skin starts sagging as we become old. Now the next word, ears perked, brighten up. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ? ಕಿವಿ ಚುರುಕಾಗೋದು, ಕಿವಿ ನೆಟ್ಟಗಾಗೋದು ಅಂತನೂ ಸಹ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Look at this picture. Dogs' ears perk up when they listen to some sound. Now the next word is screaming note, loud musical sounds. Now gospel, a type of religious message in which religious songs are sung. It is written by 4 followers of Jesus. The incidents that happened in the life of Jesus from his birth to crucifixion are explained in this gospel. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಸುವಾರ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ. Now let me read the poem. It's on page number 105. Open your textbook, take page number at 105 and look into your textbooks now. There he stands, see, like a black ancient mariner. His wrinkled old face, so full of wearies of living, is turned downward with closed eyes. His frayed collar, faded blue old shirt turns dark with sweat, and the old necktie undone drops loosely about the wool. Old jacket just barely holding his sagging stomach in, yeah, his run-down shoes have paper in them, and his rough unshaven face shows pain in each wrinkle, but there he stands in self-brought solitude head. Still down eyes, still down ears, perked and trained up upon the baseline, for across his chest lies an old alto saxophone supported from his neck by a wire coat hanger. Gently he lifts it now to parted lips, see, to tell all the world that he is a black man, that he was sent here to preach the black gospel of jazz. Now preaching with words of screaming notes and chords, he is no longer a man, no, not even a black man, but yeah, a bird, one that gathers his wings and flies high, high, higher until he flies away or come back to find himself a black man again. Now let's try to comprehend this, children. Here, like the ancient mariner in Coleridge's poem, the old jazz musician feels He has a message for the people of the world. He is a pathetic figure, but at the same time a commanding artist. He has the power in him to make the people listen, a gift that not many possess. He is silent in speech but eloquent in music. Here, when we discuss this poem, we can make this into two parts, appearance and jazz player as a musician. When we discuss about appearance, what we have to discuss about his face and dress. Now, let us see one by one now. Face. How is his face? His face is black, then old and wrinkled, and then it is unshaven. So, we can make sentence like this: his face is black and it is old and wrinkled and it is unshaven. Now, let us move on to the dress. While speaking about the dress, we have to discuss about his shirt, then his necktie, then jacket, after that shoes. So, now let us see what is there about his shirt. It has frayed collar. Frayed ಅಂದರೆ ಆಗಲೇ ನೋಡಿದಿರ ಚಿಂದಿ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥ ಕಾಲರ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಹರಿದು ಹೋಗಿರುವಂಥ ಕಾಲರ್ ಹೊಂದಿರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಶರ್ಟ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಹಳೆಯದಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದು ಫೇಡೆಡ್ ಬ್ಲೂ ಅಂದರೆ ಬಣ್ಣ ಹೋಗಿರುವಂಥ ನೀಲಿ ಬಣ್ಣ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಬಣ್ಣ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಓಲ್ಡ್, ಅದು ಹಳೆಯದಾಗಿದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟರ್ನ್ ಡಾರ್ಕ್, ಕೊಳೆಯಾಗಿದೆ, ಬೆವರಿನಿಂದ ಕೊಳೆಯಾಗಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್: ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಫ್ರೈಡ್ ಕಾಲರ್ and it is faded blue, it has become old, it has turned dark with sweat. Now, let us move on to the next point, necktie. How is this necktie? It is also old, it has become very old. Let us move on to the next, jacket. How is it? It is also old and he is wearing it to hold his sagging stomach in. How are his shoes? They are run down. ಹಳೆಯದಾಗಿದೆ ಮತ್ತು he has kept some paper in them. Now, let us know about the jazz as a jazz musician, children. He has an old saxophone on his chest supported by a wire coat hanger. He keeps his head down and appears lifeless. When he starts playing his saxophone, he becomes extinct. Then ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಹಾಗಾದರೆ, ಅವನು ಅದು ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ he feels himself as a messenger sent here to preach the gospel of jazz. He realizes that he is a black man when he stops playing his saxophone. Then let us discuss about the literary devices that have been used in this poem. Rhyme scheme. The poem has no rhyme scheme. It is written in free verse, which is one of the characteristic of a modern poetry. Modern poets experiment with both the form and content. Then what is free verse, children? Free verse poems have no specific rules or patterns. They do not follow any rhyme scheme, have no specific rhythm. They do not have a set number of syllables or words per line. It can be of any length. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಪದ್ಯ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾಸಪದಗಳಿರಬೇಕು, ಹೀಗೆಲ್ಲ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಫ್ರೀ ವರ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಪೊಯೆಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬರೆಯೋಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ರೈಮ್ ಸ್ಕೀಮನ್ನು ಅವರು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪೊಯಮ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದ ಐಡಿಯಾ are not completed in specific stanza, they are continued to the next stanza also. This is also a characteristic of a free verse poem. Then in this poem 41, 42 and 43, they are single worded lines which shows the step format. Know that the words are like this: high, high, higher. So it follows the step format. Adanna illi ivru the poet has used. The word old, here the word old has been used many times in this first two stanzas by the poet to emphasize the idea that the jazz player is aged and the things used by him are very old, they have become very old and they are outdated. So he has used this word old repeatedly in first two stanzas. Then we have some imageries in this poem. What is imagery? Imagery is language used by the poets, novelists and other writers to create images in their mind, in the mind of the readers, which appeals to the five senses. ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಚಿತ್ರಣ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ. ಕಲ್ಪನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂಡಿ ಬರೋದು. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯ ಒಂದು ಇಮೇಜರೀಸ್ ಇದೆ? ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ 5 ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಮೇಜಸ್? ಸೈಟ್, ಟಚ್, ಸೌಂಡ್ ಆರ್ ಹಿಯರಿಂಗ್, taste, smell. These are the 5 types of imageries. Now here are some imageries. You have to tell me what kind of imageries are these. First one, the flowers on the bank of a river were dancing gently. So when you read this sentence, you get that picture. The flowers are dancing. So you are getting that picture, visualizing that picture. So what kind of imagery is this? Sight. The next one, the baby bit a piece of lemon which was very sour. ಆ ಸೋರ್ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಿಮಗೆ ಹುಳಿ ಒಂದು ಭಾವನೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ. ನೆನೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಯುವರ್ ಮೌತ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟರಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಮೇಜರಿ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಫ್ರೇಗ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಫ್ಲವರ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರಾಟ್ ಹರ್ ಟು ದಿ ಗಾರ್ಡನ್. ಸುವಾಸನೆ, ಹೂವಿನ ಸುವಾಸನೆ ಅಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಯು ನೋ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್. ದೆನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, the girl touched the soft fur of her pet cat. So it is of touch. The next one is the creak of the door itself told that it was very old. Creak ಅಂದರೆ ಕಿರ್ರ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿ ಶಬ್ದ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ವ, ಅದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಶಬ್ದ ಅಂತಿದ್ದಾಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಇಮೇಜರಿ ಆಫ್ ಸೌಂಡ್. And even in the lessons you find this imageries, children. In the lesson hero, a hero, you know that about his nightmare, the nightmare he had a nightmare, a tiger was chasing. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಓದಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಹುಲಿ ಓಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಇವನು ಓಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು, ಎಸ್ಕೇಪ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡೋದು, ದಟ್ picture comes into your mind. So you can search for imageries both in prose and poetry, children. In this poem also you have some imageries, children. First one is wrinkled old face. When you read this line, you will get that picture. Wrinkled ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? ಸುಕ್ಕುಗಟ್ಟಿದ ಮುಖದ ಒಂದು ಚಿತ್ರಣ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂಡಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Sagging stomach, old jacket, faded blue shirt, run down shoes, unshaven face, frayed collar. So ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಸಹ imageries. And there are few more imageries. Self brought solitude head, still down eyes, still closed ears, perked and trained upon. ನೋಡಿ, ಇದು ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾಗೆ ಅವರು ಹೇಗೆ ತಲೆ ಬಗ್ಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಿಂತಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಚಿತ್ರಣ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂಡಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Across his chest lies an old alto saxophone supported from his chest by a wire coat hanger. A bird, one that gathers his wings and flies high, high, higher. So these are all the imageries. And we also find a simile in this poem. What is that? He stands like a black ancient mariner. Here, what is a simile? You know, a simile is a figure of speech that directly compares two things. Similes highlight the similarities between two things using the word like or as. ಎರಡರಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So here, how is the comparison made? Comparison is between the black jazz musician and the ancient mariner in Coleridge's poem. In the beginning itself, I told you how they have been compared. Now let's see how to summarize this poem. Jazz is an African music. Jazz player is a pathetic figure. He is compared to the black ancient mariner. His face is wrinkled and unshaven. He is tired of wearies of life, so he keeps his head down. He wears a faded blue shirt which has turned dark with sweat and its collar is torn. He wears a necktie that hangs loosely over his jacket. He wears an old jacket that holds his sagging stomach in. His shoes are old and torn. He has kept some paper in them. He has an old saxophone. It hangs across his chest supported by a wire coat hanger. Once he starts playing his saxophone, he is no longer a black man. The art and artist become one. He attains divinity with this music. According to him, he is a black man who is sent here to spread the beauty of jazz, as the poet expresses it as black gospel of jazz. When he stops playing, he realizes that he is a black man. The poet emphasizes that the physical appearance of an artist has nothing to do with his art. Music is universal. Yes children, music is really universal because jazz was originated in Africa. It is also called as Afro-American music, but now today all over the world we see the concerts have been held. Jazz concerts have been held all over the world today. Even in India we have this music.
ಈಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪದ್ಯದ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಭಾಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ. ಎರಡನೇ ಭಾಗನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಾರಾಂಶ ಬರೆಯೋದು ಸುಲಭ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇವನು ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೋಫೋನನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾನೆ ವೈರ್ ಕೋಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗರ್ನ ನೆರವಿನಿಂದ ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ. ಕಣ್ಣು ಮುಚ್ಚಿ ತಲೆ ತಗ್ಗಿಸಿ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಮಾಡುವಂತೆ ನಿಂತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಆದರೆ ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಇವನು ಸ್ಯಾಕ್ಸೋಫೋನ್ ನುಡಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಅವನನ್ನೇ ಅವನು ಮರೆತು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಬೇಸ್ ನೋಟ್ನಿಂದ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಿ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀಮಿಂಗ್ ನೋಟ್ವರೆಗೂ ನುಡಿಸುತ್ತಾ ಪಕ್ಷಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾರುತ್ತೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಸಂಗೀತದ ಮಾಧುರ್ಯವನ್ನು ಉತ್ತುಂಗಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಂಡೊಯ್ಯುತ್ತಾನೆ. ಸಂಗೀತ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಿದ ನಂತರ ಇವನಿಗೆ ತಾನು ಕಪ್ಪು ವರ್ಣದ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಅಂತ ನೆನಪಾಗತ್ತೆ. Now we shall practice writing the summary using this activity. You have to fill in the blanks choosing the correct answers. Here are some clues. Let us try to write the summary. Jazz is an African music. Jazz player is a, what shall we write here? Yes, pathetic figure. He is compared to the, what is he compared to? Black ancient mariner. His face is wrinkled and unshaven. He is tired of wearies of life. So he keeps his head down. He wears a, what kind of shirt does he wear? Blue faded shirt, which has turned dark with sweat, and its collar is, how is its collar? Frayed. He wears a necktie that hangs loosely over his jacket. He wears an old jacket that holds his sagging stomach in. His shoes are, how are his shoes? Old and torn. He has kept some dash in them, paper in them. He has an old saxophone. It hangs across his chest supported by a wire coat hanger. You are right children. Once he starts playing his saxophone, he is no longer a black man. The art and artist become one. He attains divinity with his music. According to him, he is a black man who is sent here to spread the beauty of jazz, as the poet expresses it as the black gospel of jazz. When he stops playing, he realizes that he is a black man. So this is how you can practice children. In the beginning, you can take the help of clues. Afterwards, without those clues, you start writing it, and never mug up the summary children. Try to comprehend the theme of the poem and write it in your own words.
Now let's recall what we have learned so far. Here are some multiple choice questions. Now choose the correct answer. Jazz player's face is young and energetic, fresh and cheerful, old and wrinkled. So old and wrinkled is the correct answer. Next one, the jazz player is compared to the ancient mariner, ship, saxophone. What is the correct answer children? Yes, it is mariner. Next one, the musical instrument used by the jazz is the guitar, piano, saxophone. The correct answer is saxophone. Now the fourth one, the jazz player is wearing a faded yellow shirt, green shirt, blue shirt. The correct answer is blue shirt. Next one, The jacket that he is wearing helps him to look handsome, holds his sagging stomach in, tells us that he is a jazz musician. What is the correct answer? Yes children, you are right, holds his sagging stomach in. Next one, his run-down shoes have paper in them, cloth in them, cotton in them. Yes, paper in them. Now here are some describing words that describe jazz players' face, dress and shoes. Drag and drop each of them in the right box. Eloquent, what is it describing? It is describing the music. Then faded, where does it go? Dress. Screaming notes, yes, music. Then black and old, face. Wrinkled, where should it come? Face. Tone, dress. Unshaven, face. Old, dress. So you can make sentences like this now. His face is black and old, it is unshaven, wrinkled. Then dress, it is old, and tone, it is faded. And how is this music? It has screaming notes and it is eloquent.
Let's watch a video.
It's like a stampede. They love that music. Play it again for them, so I'll give them another tune.
This is the power of music, children.
Now we have come to the end of this lesson, children. Here I am giving you some assignment questions. Write them and submit it to your teachers. Answer the following questions. Why do you think the jazz player keeps his head down? How does the jazz player change as he plays on the saxophone? What message does the jazz player want to convey? Give a short description of the jazz player. What special skill does the jazz player have? Okay children, we have come to the end of this lesson, and read this poem once again today itself and comprehend the poem and do all the work, and don't forget to scan the QR code in your textbook and do the activities given over there. Thank you children, stay safe.